So I finally did it. I built my first gaming desk setup. I started working on it earlier this year, and it's now at a point where I can give you a full tour. In this video, I'll cover everything from the desk, chair, monitor, and gaming console. I'll even keep track of the budget here and link everything in the description box below. So let's dive right in. Okay, let's start off with the most important item, the desk. This is the Secretlab MAGNUS Pro, and it's by far the best desk I've ever used. I went with matte black, of course, and the regular Pro version. There's also a Pro XL version, which is wider and deeper, and a pure white color. So this desk measures 59.1 inches wide and 27.6 inches deep. The height can go as low as 25.6 inches, all the way up to 49.2 inches. And Secretlab has the control panel integrated into the desk itself. You have a green arrow to go up and a red arrow to go down, along with 3 custom presets. I currently have 1 set for sitting, 2 for standing, and 3 is just nothing. And just listen to how quiet the motors are. There's even a switch on the side to turn it on and off, so the LED lights aren't too distracting. From far away, it looks like a normal desk, but there are 3 features that make it stand out. The MAGNUS Pro has the world's first integrated power supply column, meaning all the electrical cables and power sockets are built into the desk leg. There's one at the bottom that plugs directly to a wall, and the one at the top for a power strip. I won't see any cables hanging down or mounted underneath. I also have this Ethernet cable extender that sticks on with magnets. So instead of using that black modem and router, I plug the cable straight to here. And just like the power sockets, there's an Ethernet port at the top. Along the back of the desk, there's a full-length cable tray, and this is where I hide the mess of cables. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I did spend some time organizing them with fastening straps. So the power strip is plugged into the top power socket, and it just hides in here, and it powers just about everything in my setup, which I'll get to later. I also have power bricks in here, Ethernet switch, USB cables, HDMI, you name it. And if I need to add a new one, I just open the tray cover, hide it inside, and I'm good to go. This desk is all metal, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. You can use it as is, but Secretlab does have a MagPad desk mat built specifically for this desk. I went with a signature black leatherette version. The whole thing is magnetic, so once you put it on, it's not going anywhere. It did take me a few tries to align it just right, and let me get my trusty magnet paper. Anything you put on here will stick. AirPods Pro, MagSafe tripod mount, and even this iPhone extended storage. I also like how there's minimal logos. You just have the Magnus branding on the side and back, and the Secretlab logo in the corner, desk feet, and finishing caps. After using the MAGNUS Pro, I'm considering getting the white version for my productivity desk setup. It looks old and outdated with the control panel on the side, the cables hanging down, and the power strip mounted underneath. But everything still looks like new, so maybe one day in the far distant future. Alright, next up is the chair. I'm using the Herman Embody gaming chair, which is in partnership with Logitech. And similar to the desk, this chair is the best one I've ever sat on. It doesn't really look like a gaming chair, but I picked this one because I actually have the original version in my other setup. This chair is super comfortable, and I like that exoskeleton design on the back. When I sit for a long period of time, I never feel any back pain or pressure buildup. This chair feels like you're floating on air. Compared to the original version, this one has a few gaming features. There's an extra layer of foam, which offers more comfort and support, and the foam has some cooling technology to prevent any heat buildup. The seat also has some textured design, and you'll find the Logitech logo on the top and on the tag at the back. There's also some white accents on the seat and arm adjustments and wheels, but I replaced them with these rollerblade wheels. They're really quiet, and the chair glides smoothly, especially on hardwood floor. If you're looking for a new chair, I highly recommend you spend the extra money and save your back. The Embody chair is also backed with a 12-year warranty, so it might be the last chair you ever buy. So moving on to what's on the desk. Front and center, I have a 32-inch 4K OLED gaming monitor. It's LG's 32GS95UE. I actually reviewed it last month, so I'll leave it in the cards and link it down below. But to summarize the video, this monitor is perfect for console gaming, PC gaming, and even productivity. It supports 4K at 240Hz or 1080p at 480Hz. And with the screen being OLED, you get those vibrant colors and true blacks. The built-in speakers, which LG calls Pixel Sound, has audio firing behind the screen, and they're decent enough that I don't need to wear headphones all the time. I just wish it was a glossy display, but the picture quality is still nice and it handles reflections quite well. The back has some RGB lights, but they aren't as bright as I like them to be. Instead of using the monitor stand, I mounted it to the Secretlab MAGNUS Monitor arm. This is built for the MAGNUS Pro, and it clamps right on the cable tray opening. The main reason I use a monitor arm is because the included stand is kinda big. Now I have all this room underneath, and I can push the monitor up against the wall. The monitor arm can move up and down, tilt, swivel, and even rotate 90 degrees. There's also built-in cable management thanks to these magnetic pieces. You will see some cables hanging down from an angle, but straight on, I was able to hide them behind the clamp. On the side, I have the PS5 Pro, and before you say anything, I do plan on getting a PC. I'm looking to build one that can handle 4K at 240Hz. So if you can recommend a good PC build, please let me know in the comments. Anyways, the PS5 Pro has been awesome. I normally have it at my TV setup, but I wanted to try the whole TV versus monitor gaming. Every PS5 Pro enhanced game I play on here looks incredible and runs really smooth. My favorites include Stellar Blade, can't wait for the DLC next month, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Tifa Best Girl, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This is probably my game of the year. To be honest, I wasn't planning on getting a PS5 Pro, but I'm really glad I did. I just hope Sony releases black console covers soon, because it's been over 6 months and we still only have white ones. Next, I have the 30th anniversary DualSense controller. It's a nice throwback to the original PlayStation with that two-tone gray and the colored symbols and logo. It sits in this controller stand by Geek-Made Designs. The stand is made out of wood and the DualSense fits perfectly. It's a nice way to put your controller on display. Moving along, there's a white DualSense controller, which I'm currently using until the battery needs recharging. I usually swap between the two depending on the battery level. And next to that is a USB-C cable that's being held by a Secretlab anchor. They're magnetic, so it just sticks right on the desk. Over on this side, here's the PS Portal in that 30th anniversary colorway. Sadly, I don't use the Portal anymore, and it basically acts as a decoration. It's in this wooden stand, also from Geek-Made Designs. I created content about this and used it a lot when it first launched, so I got my money's worth. This is my wireless router, the eero Pro 6. As I mentioned earlier, I got rid of the modem and plugged the Ethernet cable to the extender and another cable plugged straight in here. All of my setups have a wired connection, so this is just for the wireless devices like iPads and iPhones. I also have this coaster from Grove Made. It's matte black and it has some natural cork underneath. I even made my own white coaster for some contrast. But any coaster will do and stop that watering from appearing on your desk. And almost forgot, I have the Pulse Elite headset that's on the Secretlab magnetic hanger. It's very sturdy and it just snaps on the desk. So if I want to be completely focused, I can put these on and enjoy that 3D audio. You may have noticed I have something on the floor. It's a NAS from Ugreen. There's 24 terabytes of storage in here and I use it to back up all of my YouTube footage and other media. And since I use a wired connection, I can access my data from any setup and even remotely through the app. The only issue I have is this tubing cable. Before I built this setup, I ran a 100-foot Ethernet cable along the floors and hid the rest behind a bookshelf. I'll redo the cables one day to make everything neater, but for now, I barely see it when I'm sitting. Above my gaming desk, I have some wall art. And this is from the company called Frame a Game. You can choose pre-made ones from various consoles, but I went with a custom PS2 frame. I added my original Kingdom Hearts game from 23 years ago. The plaque also has my name engraved on it, just in case I want to switch to a different game. On the other side of the room, I have another piece of art, but this one is from Grid Studio. They dissect different tech products and neatly lay them out with labels. I chose the original Game Boy, not the one I grew up with, and it looks really cool. I'll probably order a different one. In this corner, there's a small rug that serves two purposes. One, it hides the power cord that's connected to the gaming desk, and two, the corgi sometimes takes a nap on here or eats some treats. This side of the room is completely empty, but I do set up a folding table so I can record those overhead shots. I basically attach a desk mount and add a few things like a poster board, the product, and some props. And if I need a live feed, I'll use the Final Cut camera app and Final Cut Pro for iPad. It's a really small room, there's a door and closet, and there were 2 more doors here, but now it's a folding curtain. It makes the room look more open, and I can close them to block off any light from the living room. This setup is about 90% complete. I'm just missing a few things like a PC, and I'll get that PC mount and hang it right here. Maybe I'll get some light strips, but I do like the one that syncs with the TV. Some acoustic wall panels will be nice too. Maybe I'll put them here and over here. And I might get that new Secretlab floor mat. It expands across the bottom of the Magnus Pro, and it should reduce the echo in the room. Overall, I'm super happy with the setup. It's a great space for gaming, and also a mini studio for creating content. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!